Every general manager is going to, respond with the pitching always, regardless. So even though, yes, we just got Rodon back, and then Nestor Cortez is due back. Obviously, we got to get Sevy online and get him firing like the Sevy of old. And Schmidt just came off a great start, and Herman's been fantastic for us, and so we got a lot of pitching depth there. But that doesn't preclude us from being open, to adding starting pitching or bullpen. We've lost some important bullpen pieces along the way to injuries or obviously suspension, and so I think we'll look at the pitching side, and then to answer your question, we'll continue to focus on adding maybe a bat there that could be a more of established everyday offensive contributor, in left field. If that's viable or not, remains to be seen. Whether it's a right-handed bat that would platoon with what we already have, or whether it's a full bore everyday position that can lock it down against lefties and righties, all remains to be seen as we move forward, and what's obtainable, and if the prices can match with us.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Anzo. In today's video, we will be talking about the Phenom, Shohei Ohtani, and where exactly will he land? Potential suitors, what team will actually grab him, what's realistic. We're going to get into that. Not only that, but your favorite third baseman of all time on the Yankees got injured, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it and how you like this player. Hint, it is Josh Donaldson. But anyways, we're going to get right into this. Everyone wants to know, where will he land? Because let's be real, he's not staying with the Angels. Even Angel fans know it. That's why they're showing up to the stadium, out there supporting him, because we all know Shohei Ohtani, that type of talent, isn't going to sign with the Angels. He's going to move on and try to sign with a winning team. I know some of you guys in the comments down below said, but the Yankees aren't a winning organization. Of course they are. And if the Yankees really want to win or get close to a World Series opportunity, they should get a Shohei Ohtani. And any team really that's trying to win a World Series this year should get him, because he's definitely going to be an expensive rental for a half a season. Because guess what? The Angels aren't going to let him go cheaply away. Now, what are these teams? Obviously, we heard Buster only talk about several different teams, but this is the list I came up with based on different articles and things like that, where I feel like these are the teams that could make the most sense and have the money to possibly sign them right after, or at least if they're really trying to win a World Series, these are the teams that are trying to do it this year. I did about 4, so here's number 4. I would say the Tampa Bay Rays. Tampa Bay Rays aren't really known to go out there and get that flashy type player, but they are first place, and they have been losing a few games, and the Baltimore Orioles have been catching up. Could this be the chance where the organization says, hey, look, we're definitely not going to sign this guy long term unless we kind of finesse it, but this will be solely a rental to win it all this season. Tampa started off really strong at the beginning, but they started slowing down. And maybe they could see this as an opportunity to really blow everyone away and say that they're serious about winning this season. And bringing a Shohei Ohtani would definitely show that. Will they sign him long-term right after? No. This will just be to put all of the chips in and to win it this year. Based on this article from Bleacher Report, this is what they project could possibly get them a Shohei Ohtani. These are some of the players right here. The Rays would get Shohei Ohtani. The Angels get shortstop/third baseman Junior Caminero, first baseman Kyle Manzardo, and right-handed pitcher Santiago Suarez. Definitely the Rays, their farm system isn't the best. I feel like they develop the players the best, and they find these gemstones and kind of polish them. But their starting rotation has been suffering, and they need another star in that starting rotation, especially if they want to keep their lead in this division that is packed with a bunch of competitors. Coming up next on the list at number 3 is going to be the Los Angeles Dodgers. Yes, the Dodgers seem to be most people's favorite. With the Angels always trying to be like the Los Angeles Angels or whatever, they're not trying to be an Anaheim or whatever the case is. There is competition in that sense, and they're not just going to give the best player in baseball possibly of our generation. It's like, nah, we're not going to do that. You guys are right there. You guys are the older brother. We're not going to help you guys get better unless it's like a crazy return. That's why I have them on this list, is that unless the Angels get a crazy, you cannot deny this type of offer, then they would do it. But the Dodgers obviously are in the West Coast. Shohei prefers the West Coast. He didn't choose the Yankees. He didn't choose any East Coast teams because he wants to be closer to Japan to just travel and, see his family or whatever the case is. But West Coast is what he prefers. Could that change? Possibly. Obviously, with the Tampa Bay Rays, that would have to change. But the Dodgers would be an easy fit. And an honorable mention could be the Giants as well. Really any California team. But at the end of the day, I think more so it's going to be the Dodgers that could make a legitimate offer to try to, just make this Angels owner be like, hey, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And for that trade, this is what Bleacher Report had to say. Dodgers get Shohei Ohtani. The Angels get infielder Michael Busch, right-handed pitcher Nick Frasso, outfielder Andy Pages, right-handed pitcher Nick Nastrini, and outfielder Jose De Paula. Now, the second team I could see possibly getting a Shohei Ohtani would be the New York Yankees. Yes, you could say it's some bias because obviously I'm a Yankees fan, but number two, I'm kind of putting my bias aside. I would say the Yankees do have a chance to get a Shohei Ohtani. The Yankees always have a chance to get some of these big names. Obviously, they're always in the conversation. What stops them is guys like Brian Cashman or ownership and things like that, which is obviously a big deal. We should have got Bryce Harper. We should have got Manny Machado. This team should have looked totally different if the Yankees would have made the obvious moves. But unfortunately, they don't make the obvious moves, and that's why I have them at number 2, because they're always in the conversation, and the Yankees could use a Shohei Ohtani, especially right now where they're basically in last place and need to catch up to the Rays. They need to figure something out right here, and a Shohei Ohtani could help out, especially with the loss of an Aaron Judge. Now, who will the Yankees actually give up? Well, that's the thing. The Yankees will probably have to give up an Anthony Volpe, a Jason Dominguez, and a Spencer Jones. Basically, Dominguez is an outfielder. Spencer Jones is a clone of Judge and as an outfielder. And you got Anthony Volpe, who is our shortstop currently. Now, will the Yankees part ways with the Anthony Volpe? That is a very hard thing to do for them right now, as they have made him basically like the future shortstop and all of that. And so to part ways with him would be really hard for a lot of fans, but in return, you would get a Shohei Ohtani. Yes, would it be worth it? It's up to you. I want to hear your guys' comments down below regarding that. Because for me, I'm kind of a risk taker in everything I do. So I would probably just say, yeah, do it. Shohei Ohtani, obviously, we'll find a different shortstop. And let's have a Peraza there, or just wait a few years and get a different shortstop. It will be fine. It will be fine. We already have our captain. We don't need to find another shortstop captain or something like that. We have Judge. We secured it. There we go. You want a feel-good story, go watch a good movie with a dog in it or something like that. Because at the end of the day, this is business, and if you need to trade a guy, we'll trade a guy. I'm down for trading Volpe. I love the kid. Yeah, that's fine. But Ohtani, I'm taking Ohtani. Because why? I would rather convince Ohtani why New York is the best place to play and not the New York Mets, because the Mets, are going to try to go after him. So by convincing Ohtani why the Yankees are the best organization to stay, to be here, and tradition, blah, 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 you can, be bigger than Matsui, you can be bigger than whatever other Japanese import we've had on this team, then I think it's worth it. It wouldn't be just a rental, and the Yankees could aim at signing him long term, and this would be a play for the off season because they might see it as an advantage to try to have him come on over. Now, that's the only advantage I see as having this 2-month rental in a sense, but for now, the Yankees will have to make some adjustments in order to make this happen. They did sign that major sponsorship deal for $25 million a year, which could be a sign that the Yankees are preparing for something bigger, maybe a bigger contract or whatever the case is. But for now, I think that's my whole speculation regarding a Shohei Ohtani coming to the Yankees. Is it possible? Yes, of course. Will the Yankees do it? Well, it all depends on Cashman and ownership. And right now, it's not looking good for Cashman and his job, even though he did just sign a longer contract. Hal did say that if the Yankees didn't go 90% into the playoffs with their original team or whatever, then there will be major changes. And we've been seeing some changes here and there So I kind of am starting to trust Hal in seeing that maybe there could be some changes. But that's for the Yankees. Now going to the number one team that I could see really making a run for a Shohei Ohtani that maybe a lot of people aren't thinking of is the Texas Rangers. The Texas Rangers are definitely in a win now mode. They have overcome the Astros there, and they're really making a statement this season. They've spent $500 million getting like their core players now, and basically their whole team was an all-star team. And that is really good to see for the state of Texas, and not just seeing the Astros always there, and actually giving that division some stability, some like competition, and not just the Astros dominating all the time. And so it's good to see that the Rangers are there. Now, with that being said, they aren't scared of spending money or having someone for a long-term contract. Could you see a Shohei Ohtani get sent over to the Texas Rangers, where they do have a bunch of prospects that they could send on over to the Angels and make it happen? I really do see that realistically happening, as Shohei Ohtani going out there, and maybe the Rangers trying to convince him to stay. They do have the money. They do have the capability of doing that. It would be like a big, like, who's the big brother now type of situation to the Astros, and getting a Shohei Ohtani and really like solidifying themselves for years to come. I could see that for the Texas Rangers. It's an exciting team. I'm excited for that fan base. When I went to go see Judge's home run at that stadium, it was an amazing stadium, brand new everything, great stadium. And definitely I see a lot of potential with that, with the Texas Rangers possibly getting a Shohei Ohtani. I mean, hey, it could happen, right? But same thing like with the Dodgers. You have to think about that they're in the same division as the Angels, and it will hurt the Angels. But that would be base for the Angels to really be like, hey, is he really going to sign with Texas? Probably not, so we'll just have to deal with him this season or whatever. Again, if the Rangers have a great offer, something like the Dodgers would have to have, then at the end of the day, they'll be like, yeah, let's do it. Now, who could be those players? Well, this is what Bleacher Report had to say. The Rangers will get Shohei Ohtani, and the Angels will get outfielder Evan Carter, shortstop Luis Angel Acuna, and right-handed pitcher Brock Porter. I could see them also asking for like a Jack Leiter or just someone with more of a name there. Because to get a Shohei Ohtani and you're going to send it off within your same division, like, yeah, you're going to have to give me a little more. So let me know your best predictions down below. Obviously, no one knows where Shohei will go. For all we know, he just stays with the Angels because the Angels don't have a good enough offer. But that would be really, 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 like, dumb of the Angels to do that. But let me know your best guess down below. Is it a different team I didn't mention today? Do you think the Mets will get him? Do you think, I don't know, Cincinnati Reds? Do you think Miami Marlins? Like, who do you think will go out there and actually make a solid offer to get him? And would you be excited to see him on your MLB team? Let me know in the comments down below. So Josh Donaldson, unfortunately, got injured. DHing, actually. He hurt his right calf, and they're going to do MRI scans and all that, good stuff. And it's not the best situation. Obviously, the Yankees do want their players to be healthy, but I can't help but think that this could possibly lead to DFA or something, because Josh Donaldson just being here in his older age, at least in baseball terms, isn't doing it. And we all know that. And if we want to see a new player come on up and actually take over, then we're going to need to see Josh leave. And who's that new player that could possibly take his place? Yeah, definitely it's going to be Oswald Peraza. He's the only logical, making sense player right now. And he's been doing great in the minors, and the Yankees don't want to bring him up, whether that's because they're maybe thinking of trading Volpe and they just want Peraza to be down there developing even more to be ready to take over, or whether they're going to trade Peraza. I mean, that would make more sense and benefit the Yankees more compared to a Volpe, but that's a whole different story. But Peraza, he's doing amazing down there, and now we're going to finally get to see him and see all of that progress he has made. This is his chance to shine, and I would say Josh Donaldson, this is his chance to possibly get DFA'd as soon as possible, because if the Yankees are going to make some major moves this trade deadline, Josh Donaldson, he has to go. Not only that, but maybe getting a Nolan Arenado instead of a Josh Donaldson. I mean, now we're talking about a real team right here making a run for the World Series. A solid defensive glove of Nolan Arenado. I mean, come on. That would be pretty awesome, especially how, he even said it, like, if I get traded, it's just a business. No problem with it. St. Louis Cardinals aren't the best team right now, so that could possibly happen. Let me know in the comments down below if you want me to do a Nolan Arenado video regarding him possibly getting traded and where he could get traded to, because that's a classic name, I feel like, Nolan Arenado, and that would be awesome to see him come to the Yankees. But besides that, Josh Donaldson is injured, and this is what Aaron Boone had to say.
Is Josh Donaldson okay?
Not sure yet. Right calf. We'll see. He's going to get testing and stuff, but it wasn't great.
Yankees win it 6-3 over the Rockies, but going to keep our eyes on Josh Donaldson. Suffered a right calf injury, legging out this ground ball in the 7th inning. The Yankees say that he will be going for tests. So, Jack, if this is an IL stint for Donaldson, what do you believe the Yankees will do here?
Justin, the strong belief in talking to some people around the Yankees and just using deductive reasoning is that we would see Oswald Peraza promoted from AAA, and he's a 23-year-old, so a lot of times you talk about bringing young kids up to the major leagues. You want them to play every day. You want their evolution as a player to continue. That's what he's done at AAA this year. He had a great month of May. He's tailed off a little bit, 6 for his last 32. The bottom of that graphic talks about how he played 2 games at third base with Scranton, but don't forget, he played 5 games at third base with the Yankees earlier this season. Very skilled defensive player, waiting patiently for his opportunity. And again, if Donaldson happens to go on the IL, I think this is the way the Yankees are going to turn, and you're going to get an athletic player who I think showed last year when the stakes were a lot higher that he could also have quality at-bats.
So Donaldson going for tests on that calf injury. We will see what comes of those tests in Donaldson's future here, whether it will be an IL stint or not.
But with Josh Donaldson being injured, I am looking forward to seeing Peraza shine and do something with this opportunity. At least the Yankees did win that game, and it's starting to, it's just one game at a time. That's all we could really do, especially when you're last place. As always, thank you for watching. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Make sure to smash that like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I come out with Yankees and MLB content, and I'll see you guys next time.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.